What's going on, Scorpio? Thank you for being here for your weekly forecast for the week of October 5th through the 11th of 2020. We got Mercury in your first house, opposing Uranus in your seventh. A lot of, I think, communication about what you truly want and where you want to go in relationships is pretty out of this world. Got a first quarter square with the Sun in your 12th house. Might as well just show you the chart since we're talking about it. Yeah, we'll start with the Sun in your 12th. It's definitely time to focus on some unknown within yourself. I would say spirituality is a big focus right now. It definitely kind of is that time. I think you have to look deep, not try to escape from reality too much, but to look at the deeper things and the way that it's been hitting. I mean, there's definitely a lot going on, putting pressure on that like, I guess, spirituality and almost like surrender. There's so much surrender with a lot of aspects and a lot of signs right now. Sun in the 12th is that too for you. It is coming up on a square to Jupiter, and of course we have Pluto direct this week, so all that Capricorn energy is online. So it's there's a lot moving on. I think you have a big message that needs to come out. It's been brewing for a couple years now with Saturn and Pluto there. Jupiter's kind of blowing, just expanding and blowing it up in a huge way and bring that power. It's about expressing yourself and expressing exactly what you want from a very divine identity kind of place, especially with Mercury in your first house right now. So it is about the environment, the stimulation in a big way right now. Of course, Mars retrograde in your sixth, that can be very stressful. And also keep your health in check. Like, make sure that you're doing okay. Just make sure you're doing okay. It's important, and to try not to stress yourself out. I think stress can be a big deal here with this Mars squaring Pluto. You could stress yourself out by thinking about things too much or being overstimulated, and then, you know, by having to be too analytical too about things. Like, put your energy into like something that is kind of soothing and like artistic and creative and beautiful, instead of like just I gotta do this and this. I mean, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it, but trying to stress yourself out, especially with Chiron there and the hits that full moon made, you know, take care of yourself and try not to stress. I think there's a lot of pressure on your ninth house, which of course that moon's going to come in here. It's a terrible moon, but it's going to come in there and make that third quarter square after it crosses Rahu, the North Node, and quincunxes Pluto. There's definitely some deep emotional stuff that needs to come up. I think that you got to be willing to let go of things that aren't right in life and be willing to move towards something beautiful and something that is intense and stimulating in the right ways in life, in that way. And then that moon's going to come into Cancer, into your ninth house, and make that square. There's a lot of pressure on, I would say, the Sun with that T-square that it makes, and also you know, expanding emotionally in positive ways, and like, you know, going on an adventure within yourself. I would say spiritually more than anything, or it could just be letting yourself kind of let go to what kind of beliefs can, you know, take you somewhere amazing and magical, and not getting too caught up in reality and what is stressful would be a nice way to get out of that. But it could definitely bring up some stress and some escape and some feeling trapped here emotionally. But constructively, I think there's a way to get out of that. And that would be to not focus too much on the things that stress you out. We do have Venus here in your 11th house, I think, trying to make you look for innovative new ways of connecting and kind of leveling up with friends, seeing the beauty in that, making sure that almost relationships have a friendship to them with Venus, and that there's value mutually recepted between both parties or groups of people. That Venus is also going to trine Uranus in your 7th house, and of course Mercury in your 1st house is opposing it. So I would say that you got to be able to speak up for what you truly want within your divine identity and who you are and what's, you know, making the most sense and what you want to move forward with. But when it comes to relationships, it's almost like if they're not bringing you some sort of innovative next level beauty or stimulation, that it could be really weird. I would say Uranus in this opposition here to Mercury is trying to bring to mind what could take you to the next level in any sort of partnership or with other people. and Venus is trying to like show you like what actually would be beauty, and maybe it's making relationships revolve around friendship and not, you know, external stuff, but maybe like a deep value of each other. We do have Neptune here in your 5th house, making the sextile to Jupiter in your 3rd house. This is like full surrender to the heart, I would say, to not let like yourself get stressed out by the environment, but to make your environment the gift by having it built from what brings you joy and happiness in life, and not like keeping yourself from that in any way. Could definitely bring some very powerful stimulation. There's a surrender to a lot of places here. Let's see what the card is. I didn't shuffle. That wasn't meant for you. This one was, though. The 9 of Wands reversed. Yeah, I would say that creativity and passion is like the ultimate, but you gotta be willing to keep moving forward and to trust that you can take that next level without holding yourself back. It's almost like you've gone through a lot already, and now you have to actually see the goal and be willing to use that energy to not stress yourself out, but to move towards something beautiful, something dreamy, and connections that are built on like really electric friendships and electric feelings that bring you value and let you be in your true, unique, divine self. Love you very much, Scorpio. I'll catch you next time. Peace.